Hey guys, what's going on? I was working on something and got lost and lost track of time and got behind on everything. I'm sorry about that. Um, Before I knew it, I was over here and Alli was me and her were talking. I was like, man, I was supposed to be live like 3 minutes ago. Anyway, so thanks guys for being here. You want to say hi?
Hi.
She just got home from work a little while ago and had a long day. I hope you guys are doing good. We're not going to have a camera on tonight, and there's a reason for that. So bear with me just a second, and let me go fix something real quick, and we'll get started. I didn't get to do anything I was supposed to. All right. I was working on something cool for you guys, and it did not work out that way. So
Never mind.
yes, never mind. Am I muted? No, I'm not. Okay, so I'm going to put this on subs. I'll do this and do this. All right, so that should make it easier for the mods, guys. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't on top of things. Like always. So I made something, and we're just going to see how it turns out right now. I'm going to go ahead and download it right now so I can play it for you guys. All right, and then we'll let that download while I'm talking to you guys, and we'll get started. So how's everybody doing? Cam's late to his own show, like always. Thank you. Leave it to me. Want to know if you get any more information about Richard? Yes. So if you didn't catch today's earlier live stream, I did do one, and it was actually like I felt like it was pretty good. You didn't?
No.
You didn't? Thanks.
No, because I told him not to go live without me today because he has taken it upon himself the last 5 lives to just do it without me. So I don't even know what the live was about. I'm just kidding.
It was good. Well, I was giving him the update on Richard, and I told him about
without me.
Well, I mean, so one of the family members called, or we didn't call. He sent me a text the other day after we did the live stream with his family, and we are
rattling some cages.
Yeah, we're rattling some cages. Law enforcement went to Richard's wife and asked who Cracking Cases was, and asked what the family was doing on a social media show, and was like, I don't know why this thing is hooked. Let me turn these off. My freaking headphones were on. I'm hoping that's not what it was picking up. But so asked him who we were and why Richard's family was on a live stream on social media, and tried to tell her that we were, talking bad about her. And she said, no, they weren't. I watched it. And so I feel like, some good's coming of it. And I'm just telling you, so we can make a difference in the true crime community if we put our, put our efforts towards the right reasons. Yeah, my migraine's doing a lot better, guys, from earlier. Yeah, you didn't get to see it. Like, I had to pretty much almost wear my glasses. But I did, and I turned down that ring light, and I actually found the perfect setting for us, so it looked pretty good. Brianna, since you brought it up many months ago, well, see, they didn't pay attention till the family came on and started talking, and when the family came on, now law enforcement wants to show an interest, and then they brought up to his wife that pretty much, now there's a suspect. I'm not going to say who because that's not my place right now till the family um, feels comfortable doing so. But again, we're rattling some cages, and now they're going to be trying to, I guess, make some things happen. But that means we can't give up now. Thanks, Cat Lover, for becoming a YouTube member. So guys, I need to go and read something real quick and get ready to share that with you. And things, okay. Yeah, so basically, Alli, I just titled this, we're going to do it do things however we want to on this one. And, and we'll just play it by ear. So I'm going to, even open it up the panel. If you guys want to come up and talk to us, feel free. I want to load this if it did. Okay, cool. I think it did. Watch this. Playing all bad. This is what I was working on. So that's what I was working on when I lost track of time, and it started out all freaking fast and weird, and it didn't sound good. I'm gonna try it again, see if it does any better this time. So I got to work on the ending and the sound and everything, but it'll be okay. So just playing around, messing around with stuff. And so what do y'all want to do? That's what we're going to do. This is, we can do whatever we want. We're going to have a discussion. I want you guys to come up and we're going to talk about, what you guys feel like the true crime community in the direction it's going, what you would like to see happen. Maybe we can get the message out, what everybody's wanting, out of the true crime community. It's becoming, something that it shouldn't be. And, I honestly, I don't want to be a part of it if it's going to be like that. I would rather we're going to do our own thing over here. We don't have to be like anybody else. And, if that's the case, then we will. We'll do it, we'll do things how we want to do them. We don't have to go by anybody else's guidelines, because I'm definitely not getting into this fighting and stuff. It's not doing anything. We're making a difference over here. We've moved to another case. We not really moved to it, been working on it for a while, and I'm proud that people are trusting us to ask us to cover their cases and stuff like that, because that says a lot. That when people are reaching out. I actually was checking our Cracking Cases Facebook, and I saw where a few people asked for us to. It's actually a site where it's cold cases, and it's cases where it's called Tennessee Tennessee black hole, and it's cases where law enforcement, there might have been some corruption in it, and in these people's cases, and they asked if we would like to be a part of their group and maybe start covering some of those cases too. So we got some good things coming for you guys. Let me remove this. So I'm going to open this up in a minute. I don't know what's going on tonight. Is there a bunch of people live? Let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, for real. Here, I'm going to put the link in the chat real quick for anybody that would like to come up and talk. Hey guys, it just came in. All right, there's the link if you guys want to come up and why can I not hear y'all? Yeah, I feel better, guys. Thank you for asking. What on earth? It's not letting me. It's lagging bad. I might have to go out and come back in. It might be where I had so many windows open. Give me just a second. I'll fix that. All right, that should be a little bit better. Yeah, I just left and came back in to see voice behind duty wrong. Say, oh, everybody's on tonight. That's cool. That's okay. Because the less people that are in here, the more one-on-one we can. I can speak to you guys. So if you guys want to hit that link, anybody, feel free to come up here and talk to us. I mean, we don't bite. I like to engage with you guys. I'd like to get your input on things. Also, if you missed today's earlier live stream, go back and catch that one because I showed pictures, and I can show them again. Chris from First to Deploy, he was able to go and pick up his RV today, and he sent pictures and told you guys thank you. I'll show them to you again. All right. So let me share this real quick and show you. He's proud of this, and when you guys see this is what somebody donated to him on our channel last year. So I'm going to go through these and show you guys. I mean, it's impressive. It really is. There's the outside, and I mean, here's the inside of it. He's going to be able to put big screen TVs in here, his desk and some, where he can, operate his drones from, a mobile office command center. I mean, it's pretty big. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And you know what? This right here could be the difference in somebody being found and somebody, being found safe, or somebody's family that hasn't had answers for a long time. Maybe getting some, a family getting some peace of mind, and somebody, finally being laid, to rest in peace. This was some big things. I'll show you again, guys. Y'all probably, I don't know if y'all remember, if anybody's in here that didn't see it. He's got some amazing technology, and I'm going to show you that. I might be able to do it like this. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm gonna just pull up this video right here. Okay. Let me find it really quick. Why is it doing that? Oh, that's my luck every time. Here it is. So this right here, this is the technology. This truck here is going, it looks slow from the distance, but he's very high up in the air, and he's able to follow this truck. Look, this is from somebody just turning around in the grass. Who, how long? He told when we went over it, I think he said that it can pull up the signature of somebody just turning around from a couple hours ahead of time. Hey, Judy, I emailed you back. Sorry I didn't get to answer your question earlier. I saw at the end when I went back over the live chat, I saw where you on their page. Oh, you saw this on his page? Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, so he feels very blessed, and he wanted me to tell you guys thank you so much. And like towards the end of things, because of everything that happened with drama once again with some people and back in December, people kind of went their separate ways and had a falling out, and he called and asked, and we had not had the best parting ways, but at the end of the day, it's not about me and him. It's not about any of us. And this should say a lot right here. What I'm about to tell you guys. These creators and other creators that are fighting with one another. That this should be something that we should all look at. He's a drone operator. He's doing some big things. We were on searches and stuff. We left and had some, some not nice words and everything, and we all weren't happy when we parted ways. But then again, we put those things aside for the people that this could help in the long run, helping fix or find missing children or missing adults or missing elderly people. That's what matters, and he has the technology to do that. And guys, I want to thank you too for the ones that did donate to him. What? Hold on, guys, 1 second. I gotta let Alli. Yeah, so that was donated last year. I think I'm trying to think of the woman's name or her screen name that donated. It's not Connie's Flipping Life, is it? I think possibly. I can't remember. So none of you guys are gonna come up and talk to me? Y'all can't do that to me. Don't be shy. Don't worry about these other people. Do you? Who are they? I'll tell you one thing though, we might watch it because it's getting out of hand. This one certain person, and he will not leave it alone. And I can't figure out. It's kind of it's humorous for me. He did a skit of me, and which was almost. I don't even know how to categorize. Did y'all go check that out after I told you the other day? The guy that did a sheet or a skit of me. I read somebody said I would, but I'm at sheets. Oh hey. Hello.
Yes.
I got my camera off. I don't feel like getting ready and looking nice tonight.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good.
Okay. Something's bothered me since I don't know exactly what day it was, but it was a few days ago, and we were in Dolly Vision's chat,
Yeah.
and I said something about like I follow Chasing Truth and y'all because you got facts, and you told me I was brave to
Yeah.
say that. I am not a person that gives a flip what anybody else thinks,
Right.
and I wish there was more people on here like that.
Well, I appreciate that, but I mean it's very rare. It's been, I mean, some of the people that have been here since the beginning, I see them, but I mean a lot of people, we're not on the most popular side and haven't been through all this, and that's okay, because it's, I know, we know what we're doing, and that's all that matters. God knows, and the people that we were trying to help, but it's to go in some of these other creators chats and say that that people, for people to say they support us, sometimes, I mean, they get attacked by the whole chat and everybody, and I've seen, it's happened to me, and I've watched other people have it done to them, and that's not fair. It really is.
Right. I was in your chat the other night when the woman, I don't remember her name, Carolina something, was in there, and I was so frustrated. I wanted on the panel so bad. But there is so many people out there that does the same thing she does. They hear what they want to hear.
Yeah.
You can try to explain yourself over and over again. They don't understand.
No, they don't. And the only reason I finally got, or asked her to come up on the panel, is because she had said, I'd watched for months and months of us just getting lied on, and that's okay, because I knew what the truth was. But when she started going after Chasing, and I look up to her. She's been one that never has turned her back on Alli and I, and as far as creators go. And she, that she said that about her, and then she said something about I can't remember what it was exactly that set me. Oh, well, she just asked for me to go on a live and answer her questions, and I said, well, sure, I'll do it. I immediately came over here and set one up. I'd had enough of it. But
right.
And it wasn't because of what she was saying about me. I just wanted to prove to the things. There's multiple creators, and I've asked them all. I asked that same day you were talking about in Dolly's chat. I asked Bullhorn Betty to come over on here because I want people to see that this misinformation does nothing. And I talked earlier today about what has been, what she has done over in Hawkins County. Yes, there's a bunch of them that have come down there and done that, but with the dog stuff and all that, it does nothing but take the attention away from Summer. It's not about Dawn and Candace anymore. We need to focus on finding Summer before anything. It's,
right.
It's freaking 11 months now, and 11 months too long for sure. And I think
absolutely. We don't have one lead at this point, or we don't, but they don't.
It's the same it was 10 months ago.
Yeah, I mean it's like day one.
Exactly. And people refuse to hear what law enforcement is saying. They want it. They'll hear, well, they said that they're not excluding foul play. Well, then they turned it into, well, they said they're looking into foul play, and that's it. And I'm like, no, that's not what they said. They said they're not excluding anything.
Exactly.
And I really feel like that if law enforcement didn't have to go and look at all these these side roads instead of being on a straight path to finding Summer, we'd be a lot farther than where we are.
Right. Absolutely. I've said that over and over again. You're going out here and throwing psychic, and nothing against anybody that believes in psychics before I get jumped. But you're going out here with maps that a psychic give you, and oh my goodness, I got to call this into TBI because I see red clay dirt and there's a rock on top. It looks like a grave to me. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Say what you're gonna say, Allison.
I'm just saying it is. I'm agreeing.
Was that not at a funeral home? Where that was?
I'm not sure if it was at the funeral home or before she got to the funeral home.
Well, so okay, this is my issue. Like they're calling all creators to go to the, I guess, the vigil. They're wanting to have him in the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department parking lot. I feel like I listened to how Detective Pruitt talked on the phone. He sighed. And I saw how the Humane Society called out some people and stuff. I just feel like that they just leave them alone. They're not going to forget about. I don't know.
In my opinion, what kind of vigil is that going to be in the sheriff's department parking lot? Are you really planning a vigil, or are you planning?
Well, she said no bullhorns, no nothing.
She did, but why have it there? If you were going to have a vigil for a little girl, why there? I mean, I know she said to remind them.
Because it's prodding.
Right. I don't know. I just.
And don't get me wrong, I have my own issues. I have my things that I don't agree with that law enforcement has done over there. And I'm not happy. We've seen things that other people didn't see as far as, when we reported the one little girl that was missing when she called in, they said, don't, call back Monday. She had an active Amber Alert. And then we saw, when we would report things over that we found in searches, it
Sorry.
didn't like priority.
Sorry.
You're okay.
My little dog thinks it hears the wind blow, and oh my gosh, it's an intruder. Yeah, but I think whenever you started this, you said something about how something about the YouTube streets.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was just saying, what would y'all? I mean, what do you guys as of subscribers and people that watch? What direction do you want to see YouTube or the true crime community go in? Other than the drama all the time, fighting with one another.
Okay, well, I get a lot of flack for the screen name I have, the True Crime Drama Queen. But the reason I have that is because I started out the first channel I found on true crime was Chasing Truth. And I just loved it. I mean, this woman, who else gets a whiteboard out and a marker and is like, she's very diligent in what she does.
Right.
And I thought, okay, I'm not watching nothing but these facts. Well, I don't care if you watch just facts or not. In the chat, somewhere you're going to see the drama. And I almost got off of YouTube because of it. And I thought, you know what? No, if you can't beat them, join them. So they're out here saying whatever they want to say to whoever they want to say it to. So I got a loud mouth, and I don't mind telling them what I think of them. So I was like, I would love to see the drama at least calm down some, but that's never going to happen.
Right.
These creators are not going to go with facts because we have none. Very few, anyway.
Well, the things that they're putting forward as facts is they're saying that they know why the boys were taken. They know that this has happened, that happened up there, and this happened because they didn't like the way that that the family looked. They didn't like the way the house looked. They didn't like the way. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't great. It's not great by no, it's nowhere near it. But I've said it. I don't know how to put this any other way, and people don't understand this unless they're from here. I've seen houses. I've been at friends' houses growing up that were like that, and not even maybe worse than. And I don't know how other way. You can't describe that to anybody else that hasn't seen it before. But I'll tell you this too. I'll tell you this much. So I said the other day why what we were told, and this is just here, and this is hearsay. I'm not saying this is fact. It's what we were told why the boys were taken um, by the parents. So I said that Candace had called on Don for going off on one of his
Mm-hmm.
his benders, and she called and asked that he get urine screened. Well, she didn't think they were going to test her too, and they did. They tested them both, and that's what we were told. The reason why I don't know if there was anything else because I didn't see the report, and I didn't ask to see that report of why. But news stations reported that Don said that people were coming up and trespassing on the property, and that he had turned to drinking. Well, it was more than that. He just said he didn't have to put his business out there, and look what's happened because of it.
Right.
You know, and the fact of the matter is, gosh, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. I guess I'm gonna.
We're talking about where the Vigil is going to be located.
And I don't. And before anybody, they're gonna take this. They're gonna say, "Oh, you're supporting. You're supporting." No, I'm not at all. Don was in trouble for a long time. Yes, he has a record, but people even tried to make that out that he had done this and he'd done that. He has theft charges and drug charges and drinking charges. He does not have all these other. They tried to pass that off as fact. Chasing proved that. Chasing proved the charges in Wisconsin, and I was
Mm-hmm.
I was happy to be on. When she did that, I was so happy to be on this side of things at that time because that answered and put a lot of things into place. But he was out of trouble for 20 years before the stuff happened in October. There's video record of him having the kids at church. Now, yes, do we see a downhill in the kids, and Summer, has her head shaved towards the end? Yes, that's true. But people are looking at pictures of kids that run around barefoot up there and wrestle and play, and they're saying is that you don't know if that's a bruise from wrestling with their brother or playing in the dirt or doing what we don't know that. And people,
Right.
well, look, that's because they've been, battered or whatever, assaulted or whatever, and it's not. They don't know that. There's no report saying so. So
Nope.
now they fall back on the Wisconsin stuff and say, well, that report says, well, that's not what this one says.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I get irritated about that. You want
Yeah.
to go ahead. You want to say anything?
Well, it's true. I mean, just because, I don't know, just because they have pasts and just because they might not have lived in the way that everybody else seemed.
It's not right. We're not saying it's the right way.
No, we're not. Not at all. But right now, we just don't have evidence to say that they've done anything.
There's not tangible proof of anything. And I don't care, and I will say that until there's something, a record of it to put forward, and we're gonna get put on the guillotine for that. So, but I'm not gonna crucify them until I see something, and I probably won't do it after because it's not my place to judge them.
Right.
But,
No, I've been called a Wells sympathizer from day one. If you say they are innocent until proven guilty, or because their house was filthy and the kids ran around barefoot and whatever, that does not mean they, and I hate to say this, but murdered or trafficked or anything like that. That doesn't equal that.
look, this right here, this is a point, prove a point right here. Somebody said, can't say they're good parents. We didn't say that. Nobody sat here and said that. We just said that they didn't do things the way they're supposed to, and nobody's saying that. But what I will say is that I'm not going to come to anybody's house on here or especially look at somebody's pictures and might somebody, say that you've been at a holiday, gathering with your family, and somebody takes an unflattering picture of you, and your eyes are, you're in the middle of blinking, and I'm gonna, how would you like if somebody came and said, "You're high. I'm turning this in right now. Look how high you are from this picture."
Mm-hmm.
Well, you had a past, so you had a past of getting high. So now I know you're high now.
Right.
That's not fair. I mean,
No.
I don't know.
There's too many opinions and not enough facts. And people, a lot of people anyway, because it's their opinion, it's what they think, then in their mind it is fact. They can see everything links together because of what they think. And it
Right.
just doesn't work that way.
Well, and you had people coming down here to the DCS building and the DAs and stuff, and they were acting like they had inside information, waving around. They don't release that stuff. They
No.
don't see what's going on up at somebody's house, or somebody else might, but that there again, that's hearsay. Don't run around putting that out, because people get angry, and people, we already see between Alli and Candace that they were calling, social services on each other, and it's just that was. I don't know what happened. We know that this goes back. There's record of Alli calling. Gardens. She's calling, telling the law that to go pick her kids up and bring them to her, because she wouldn't go up there. They've been fighting for a while, since whenever, I guess, the Jose thing happened.
Right. And I've seen people say, well, not too long ago, I seen one person say, "Oh, just look at his feet. That looks like frostbite or something." And I'm thinking, how do you come up with this? It's just crazy, the things some people's coming up with. But what's irritating me to death now is the fact that there are no facts. There is nothing new to talk about right now. So there are people making up anything they can just for content.
Yeah.
They can say what they want to say.
Yeah.
And say, "Oh, it's not," and defend themselves. But that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It is, and it's going to just keep getting worse and worse. Now, I'll tell you, there's one thing I will say. Have I thought it's weird that Candace won't talk about anything when it comes to Esther? Yes, I do. She will not. If you ask her anything about that day, she shuts down and says, I feel like I'm being interrogated.
And we've talked about that for a very long time.
For a very long time, we brought that up.
I mean, the first time we ever met her, not long after, she shut down completely on us and would not talk to me in particular for just asking a simple question about that day.
Guys, I apologize. I just got a text saying for people wanting me to read my chat. When I'm talking, I can't read and talk. I can't chew gum and scratch my head.
Well, it's not that we don't see the chat, but when we're on one specific topic, we don't want to get lost or get distracted whenever we're when we're talking about one thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, because y'all already know if I get off on reading the chat, I'm all over the place.
Okay, well, I'll just say one more thing, then I'll get off of here so that everybody can get a chance and y'all can see the chat. But okay. Alli was talking about the candlelight vigil. Yeah, I don't understand why they're doing it there. I mean, I think I would have picked a park or somewhere else, but she may not bring a bullhorn to that. But she's pretty ticked off at the animal shelter or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I would not doubt that she's going to be there during the day and doing her protest.
Well, didn't you hear a convoy going or something out the Ben Hill?
She did say that. Yes, she did say that. I think after the vigil or whatever, if anybody wanted to, that they would drive like down Ben Hill Road or something like that.
Well, and there's, I don't know. I'm just not. I don't want to. I'm not going out anywhere to cause any problems. I haven't had any crosswords or anything with law enforcement. I'm not about to start now.
Right.
I've been outspoken about things that I didn't like because, uh, and guys, bear with me. I'll get to you in the chat, but I want to say this on searches and stuff, things that we found, it just, especially with what they told Adventures with Purpose that Summer wasn't in the water and they didn't need. There's just been multiple things through this, you know, through this investigation that I've been like, why? Why was that said? Why does this handle? Why was there such a big gap in between June 15th and to November 30th? We were out there. We were searching, and there was no big searches that we were out there almost 5 days a week for at the fall. Right? For almost a month and a half for the fall. We were out there every day.
We were out there a lot.
And
we barely saw law enforcement in the Beach Creek Ben Hill area.
Yeah, never passed one. Never even passed one.
Let alone searching.
Yeah. And I was like, so what's going on through all this time? I know that EquiSearch had came out and those groups had came out, but I mean, I know they were low on funding and stuff after the first initial search, but that's a missing child. And
right.
There were all these nonprofits that stepped up for Carly Trent. Where are they for Summer's case?
Right.
That was my question. Okay. Go ahead if you want to say anything.
I was just gonna say, didn't law enforcement tell someone not to search the waters, like ponds and stuff that was around there?
Yeah, they told Adventures with Purpose to they're a big group out of Oregon, and they offered their services. And somebody had brought that letter to us where law enforcement told them that their services weren't needed, that Summer was not in the water, and that was early. When was that? What month?
Oh, that was
June, July, August, September of last year.
October.
See, that's crazy. How did they know that for sure?
They don't.
I do not believe that they have searched all those ponds or whatever there. I just don't.
Way.
There were
There are ponds that you can't even see from Google Maps, and they're on private property, and there's no way that they have searched all of those ponds.
I found that campsite not even 900 feet from not counting the mountain, but I guess if you were counting going up, it wasn't far. That's all I'm gonna say. It wasn't far, and I mean that's how vast that terrain is out there. You can walk right past something if you don't go to the to the limits and exhaust every place. I don't care how high it is, how steep it is. Then you can miss something.
Yeah, I mean, I lived in Eastern Tennessee for a while, in Mountain City, Tennessee, and my husband grew up in Boone, North Carolina.
I know how the mountains.
So we know that terrain.
Yeah,
and it's people that on the outside looking in, they can't comprehend that. And then, like y'all said with the house earlier, y'all know there's people that live like that. It's different there.
It is.
It was actually when I lived in Mountain City, people that did not come down off the mountain but one time a month, like when they got their food stamps.
Exactly.
And they would get their stuff, go back up the mountain, and you didn't see them again.
Exactly.
It's a different world.
Well, people get things left to them, just like Don did. A house that is willed to them, and whatever shape is given to them, that's how it is.
Yep.
That house, I think he actually added an addition onto. There's pictures of him building that when the boys in Summer was little, very little. You see him out there with. You remember those pictures?
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody here has seen them.
Summer was tiny.
He's laying the block and everything on that side addition where now the door is on the top that you go in. They put that on there. So you can imagine what it looked like before that. It was even smaller.
Well, I mean, at one point, because I've seen what it looked like, I don't remember what year, but looked like there was a big long addition to the house.
That
That
trailer.
evidently, is that what it was? Is a
Yeah.
trailer?
Yeah.
It was a
Okay.
And it was taken off, what, 2012 or
trailer.
2014?
We asked about that.
I can't.
It was not long after, either right before they moved up there or right after, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, something right. It was right before they got it, I believe.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to get off here. Thank you so much for having me up.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming up.
All right, see y'all later.
See ya.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. So let me get to you guys on the
Richard said 2012.
2012. So I was right. Shoo, we got lucky with that one. Yeah, thanks for coming up. I appreciate that. Let me see some stuff, some people I've missed in the chat. I apologize for that, but I can't stay on topic if I don't. I work at the Equine Horse Therapy Farm for foster and high risk youth in North Carolina. I would love to have a group of boys hear your story. There's a lot of kids that need to hear from a survivor. Wow. I appreciate that. Yeah, I would be willing to do that. Just here's my email. Reach out and maybe we can figure something out. I'll let that scroll across the bottom of the screen there. I appreciate that. That was really hard to talk about some of that stuff, and of course the accusations came in right after that too. I can't do anything. But it's okay. That's what they want. They want to rise out of me, and it's whatever. I don't know if Don ever saw her, but it is abuse to party, drink, drugs, and strangers all the time. Okay, what now? Let me see. I don't know if Dawn ever saw her, but it is abuse to party, drink, drugs, and strangers all the time. But how, we know that. Okay, I'm trying to think how I'm not, because I don't, it sounds like we're making excuses if I say anything, but we don't know. I didn't live there. None of us lived there.
Right.
We don't know how frequent things happen. We know that she drank. She's been an alcoholic. There's a lot of people that drink to not be sick. And now I'm not saying that's good. And I don't know how her drinking and how inebriated or how drunk she got before this, but I do know that I don't know how to explain that. I just refuse to say that I know everything, and from looking on the outside in and not being around them. Yeah, it's not my place to say that, and it's nobody's. We don't know. We know what people have said. We know what this person said and what that person said, and person that doesn't even,
But we also know a lot of people who have said things have had their own personal feelings.
Yeah.
Like, as far as.
Right.
A lot of them are people that they don't talk to anymore or they don't get along with anymore.
And I'm not saying they didn't do anything.
No.
I'm not saying they didn't, because I don't know. They could very well have. But there's nothing saying here, neither here nor there. Now, we hear Alli say, "Oh, this ain't the first time she's lost her," and I will say that I feel like that wasn't the first time that Summer had walked off that property, and knowing all for the people that are around that property, and I strongly believe that there probably was some unsavory people that were coming up there. I saw a post from Marlena Crawford that was just very recent that said she will not talk about it. She will not do this, won't do that. Well, she had asked for money for interviews at the get-go. Now she says she don't want no part of this. Is very recent. Because I feel like that, she was one of the last people to see Summer. Her daughter also, and I'm not going to say her name, was one of the last people to be up there playing with Summer on that property beforehand. And look, before I say anything else, don't twist my freaking words. I'm not taking up for them. I feel like Marlena, she said, I talked to law enforcement, and that's fine. That's all she needed to do. That's perfect. But, you know, who else was up there? I wonder, we saw, y'all saw live, and after we talked about Don Sherfy Jr., 8 months in, he hadn't been interviewed or even questioned about Summer's disappearance by admission of his father, Senior. That says, that's a big deal. So how many other people? Well, I mean, if nobody says anything, and if nobody brings up somebody's name, then they might slip through the cracks. And then we go back to all the people that I've never once thought it's been a stranger abduction. And if it was abduction, you got tree cutters, you got people that are in and out looking at properties that aren't familiar. People forget that when they say, well, I find it really hard to think that somebody would turn up one of them roads and just sit. There were people going in and out looking at those properties for sale out there because they were listed as something they weren't. People working for the tree companies, all sorts of people in and out of there, constantly. It's not hard, it's not too far fetched to think that something could have happened, especially if a child walks away. And law enforcement says the very real possibility, the very valid, I can't even I don't even remember the word he said, that we might pull that up and go over what Pruitt had talked about. Let me see. I'm going to catch up on what y'all are saying. Let's see. Alli, Jose, another neighbor that lives there, said Summer wandered off the property several occasions. Yeah. Okay, so Jose, contradiction after contradiction. This is one thing I do question still, and people said, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, I still feel like there's something weird when Andrew and all those people came down. What was his name? What was his friend's name? Jeffy, Andrew, Jose, all these other adults, and then children came down here, because when that time was in question, they all started lying on each other. When Jose came out and Justice for All did that interview with him, that's when Alli started coming out and not being truthful. Candace started saying things that were contradictory. Jose was saying things contradictory. Andrew H's dad was saying things that weren't accurate. It was just a big mess. Why? What was happening then? I still find that odd. Don't you?
Yeah.
And then there was supposed to be receipts of the RV. Well, all we saw was receipts of, or not RV, but receipts of the U-Haul. All we saw was a U-Haul van, and they were supposed to be in the back of a U-Haul truck because Jose was supposed to have been angry because he had to ride in the back of that U-Haul truck all the way down here.
U-Haul.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Did I say U-Haul?
Yes.
I said U-Haul truck, didn't I?
Yeah.
Our loading truck. Yeah, so Jody Sue says she didn't wonder. But then Donald Sherfy Sr. says she does want that the boys, including Summer, that they wondered and had multiple times had to get her out of the road. And then, there's so many contradictions. Everybody's telling something different. And those people, Don Sherfy Sr. lives not very far past. Actually, his mother-in-law, our girlfriend's mother, is William Goad sister, which is Don's stepdad's sister. It's a bunch of people saying we don't know one another. We're not, I don't know what they do, and I don't know nothing about them, but they're.
But this is how they act, and this is what they do.
This is how they act, and this is what they do,
and they're crazy.
And they're crazy, and I built chicken coops up there, and
I've never knew them.
Summer laid on my girlfriend's lap in church.
Yes,
I said laid.
You said live.
I said laid on her lap and back in her pew in church, and I was like, You can't say you don't know nothing about people, but you're saying you then turn around and say you're that close. Look, Summer was living off junk. Can you confirm that? I'm not being a smart aleck, and I will please put the link back in the chat if you want to come up and talk to me about it. Tell me how you know that. Because otherwise that's speculation and hearsay. I'm just saying that's what we can't do. That just causes just more misinformation and lies and hate, and this right here is what causes it. Makes it hard for them to ever have a fair trial if anybody ever does get convicted, because then you have the public that is so misinformed that they are so biased when it does go to trial because there is so much misinformation.
Either way, they're going to have a very, very hard time if and when this does go to trial to find a jury.
Well, if it's the parents.
Yeah.
But,
well, even if it's not the parents, because so many people are going, even if somebody that's not the parents has been convicted of it, there's still going to be so many people that have it in their mind that it is the parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. I wanted to see the answer to that. I wanted to ask. Okay, the day she disappeared, Candace said that all she had that day was sugar because she had a slushie. They only said that they stopped and got a slushie, but they also said they stopped at the grocery store. So did they say? I don't remember them saying, "Oh, she didn't say." She neither confirmed or denied.
Now here's my thing.
That she didn't go in and make a sandwich, put 2 pieces of bread and cheese together.
Plus,
we don't know.
Plus, we don't know whether or not Candace cooked before they left the house that morning. I mean, I know that that's a long.
It was never talked about.
It was never talked about. Also, there's a 2-hour time period where Grandma was in the hospital in the ER.
Yep.
Whenever Candace went to H's house and picked him up and all of that.
Yep.
That hospital has a cafeteria that they could have went in and ate at as well.
Exactly. So it was never talked about. So therefore, how can we say for sure that that's all she had was a slushie? We saw, I'm just saying. Now that might 100% be true that that's all she had that day was a slushie.
Right.
That might be 100% true without a shadow of a doubt. But I'm just saying, to be fair and a logical thinker, you have to say those things weren't mentioned. So therefore, I can't say neither here nor there. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yes, on
exactly.
Without knowing all of the details of that day.
Yes, when we were up there, I know for a fact that she had food in her freezer. They had, what was it?
And she cooks
fajitas, and so she does cook.
She cooks.
That was another lie that we found out was not true. She made chili. There, look at her Facebook post where she made that big thing of chili and all that. I'm just saying. I mean, is that not fair? I wanted to see what the input is, because somebody's saying, "Hey guys, did you see my comments? Tag me, please. If you're going to say at Cracking Cases, and I'll see it, hopefully." Can you look at the chat? Because I'm missing stuff. It's going to take both of us to see all these. All right, let me see. No, they did that last time. I never got your emails either last time when you said that we never answered your emails. You said you were going to email us back what was their name? Bama Truth Seeker. I never received emails from you, and I have not seen that. Yes, we do read our chat, and we're reading it now. If I miss people, I mean, I catch them as I can see them. It goes by. Okay, now that was Grandma that said, yeah, and Candace that said that she got a piece of candy after the fact. Yes.
Right.
But that's also at the point in time where, that's crucial point right before she goes missing in their timeline.
Right.
So, as from the beginning of the day to the end, most people most people might say, oh, we got up and we cooked breakfast, and then we did this, and then we stopped here and got lunch, then we stopped there. But we've seen also that, the Wells are not like most people either. There's things they say and then they don't say, and there's things that people have all got irritated about. Well, why didn't she say this, or why didn't they ask her that? Why wasn't this talked about? And people even wanted us. Why didn't you get answers when you were up there? Because she doesn't have to answer us. Because she doesn't have to say anything to us. We can ask till we're blue in the face, and they will sit there and they can hold their breath and say, and I'm not talking anymore till you leave. Because it's none of our place. But that's again, maybe she did, maybe she didn't. I don't know. I find it hard that I would like to, why didn't anybody ask H that if they ate that day? Why didn't anybody ask anybody? I don't get that. I don't know. Law enforcement, I'm sure they know. Like those boys.
Yes, Summer was allegedly at the hospital with Candace and Grandma that day.
And people don't drink a lot of pop and sweet tea and stuff like that.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Am I reading that right? She said, Cam, tell us how hot it is down there. Yeah. Look, the day Summer went missing, the humidity was up in 80 percentile. And what was the temperature? I think it was 79. With the humidity rate here is so outrageous. It pulls the sweat out of you. And so that, when that whole part of her getting cold and all that, I don't see it. I mean, possibly, but I didn't see it. I feel like that if something would have happened at the water and all that, the law enforcement would be focused on the water, but they were focused on the house and around that time period. Now, I'm not saying they don't make mistakes, but I feel like they would be able to narrow that down by, if they did get surveillance. Now, we heard that a nerdy addict said that the Walgreens told them that the law enforcement never came there and got the surveillance from that day. We went to the other discount tobacco on one of the second trips we went down because we misunderstood. We thought it was the one beside the hippie house, which they also, Grandma said they stopped at that one too. They stopped at both of them. That was never talked about even on the timeline with Chris M, was it? No, I mean, even with Candace and her, when they had to clear up the timeline, Grandma added that when we were, and that was in February. I said, which one of the discount tobaccos did y'all stop at? And she said, both of them. So, and then, we were told at the hippie house that law enforcement didn't get surveillance that day. And then we were told by the second person in February that they most likely did, but he couldn't say for sure because nobody that worked there at that time works there now because they had a very big turnover rate. It's been the craziest thing I've ever been a part of. You go out and you show something, and you can stand in the same exact place where she's standing in the water, because the water level had dropped so much, and people will argue and say that's not the same place. When we, even went even closer, say, well, maybe it's perspective. We showed every way there possibly was. We need to make those videos to put out there for just to have for reference. Okay, so what I went over earlier and I was talking about and what our plans were. So we're going to be we're going to continue to work on Richard's case a whole lot because we're getting some progress there. But so that people, I guess the only way I know to show it is on our live from earlier today. I showed the vast terrain out there and just how many ways across that mountain, Chimney Top Mountain, through hollers and stuff that look like they don't connect from Google Maps. Unless you're familiar with living out there, and I'm talking, this is with Summer's case now, out there on Beach Creek. Now, there's two. I showed the place where Fire Tower Road and Fields Road, where the third search happened by law enforcement. It doesn't show them connecting from Google Maps, but it does connect when you drive the road. There's multiple other roads that connect out there. So people that said we didn't investigate Don's trip but from work and back, it's a 36-minute trip. That's back roads from Jonesboro, which is in Washington County, Tennessee, to back to Ben Hill Road. Here, I'll pull this up and show you real quick, actually, because this is the best way I can give you a visual of what I'm talking about. All right, so I've got to be careful because I'm not trying to. Stop. Hold on one second, guys. All right, here we go. Share this. Yeah, I want to be careful because it's still an active search, so you don't want to give out certain locations. But this one's been talked about a lot, so I will show you something for people that might not have seen this. All right. So this is just how easy it is. This is Ben Hill. This is Bell Road. And then it connects to Fields Road, which, okay, so Fields Road. And I'll show you what I showed earlier today. All right. So this road connects. This is the terrain. And if you haven't seen it, this will give you a visual of just how much mountainous terrain that there is that they have to search out there. And unless you are just, I don't know. I mean, it is a lot. And I will show you right here. So this is what you're talking about. This is a whole mountain range. That has to be searched. I mean, it's insane. It's a lot. So this is what the reason that these areas were in question. Okay. This is Fire Tower Road right here. Fire Tower Road. You follow it down. It brings you down to Horton Highway. This right here is Chimney Top Loop. This is the road when Don went out and was driving and was filming early on in the investigation. This is the road he was going around, and it circles all the way around to here. Okay. Now, if this doesn't give you, this should be a good visual for you. That's Chimney Top Loop, which also has, that's Fire Tower Road. That's Chimney Top Loop. And Fire Tower Road goes all the way to Fields Road over the mountain, okay? Now I'm going to show you this. All right. All right. It's routing oh, it's going to try to take 81. It's trying to route that way. No, it's not. It's taking. Okay. So this is the Meadows. This is where Don was working that day in Jonesboro. When he would have left there, you know, when he left to come home, when he called 911, okay? This is the route he would have taken. Now, this route only takes 33 minutes to get all the way, and we'll go, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay. This goes through Fall Branch, and this will take him to Horton Highway. Oh man, it did it. Sorry guys, it closed down on me. Hold on one second. It's where I have so many windows open. Can you still hear me? Bear with me. Can you still hear me? Okay. All right. So yeah, this is what you guys, if I'm going to show you, this is, you know, we look into every scenario. So I'm, you know, people that say we didn't look into the parents whatsoever, they're wrong. And I'll tell you why they're wrong. You know, when we found those first searches we went on, when that, you know, the lady that came on and was in, you know, making claims that we were on public, or, you know, we were searching against law enforcement's wishes. We weren't even in Hawkins County when we were talking about public property. This is Horton Highway. Now, this is the route he would have took home. Now, this goes all the way through here. This is Gum Springs Road to Old Blair's Gap Road to Beach Creek Road. Okay, if that makes sense. So, in case he didn't go that way, say he came in and he went this way. There's Fire Tower Road right there. So if he came around the other way and went that way. Okay, so I'm going to show you where this is Ryan Road and Moody Road. This is where we found that all those deer bones when we went on that search where it looked like a poacher's ground. That's where that was. That's the reason we were out there. So, and we took a lot of flack for things that we decided to not even talk about it because it was nobody's business. But those places have been cleared. But I hope that so I mean, yeah, there's more areas. I'm just gonna tell you, there's more areas that I don't know what law enforcement is gonna do, but I'm gonna continue to try to go look into these areas anytime that we have free time and I can get out there and search. There's enough terrain out there that we can all work together, and we have some connections where we can have maybe get some people that own private properties permission. But I mean, we're just going to drive and we're going to look and we're going to continue to look into these places. That's vast. And if that didn't show you, if you didn't get anything from that, look how vast those areas are. And that's all straight mountainous terrain. I don't know. I hope somebody learned something through that. I hope I did good with that. I rarely watch the news. Too much fake news out there. I'm trying to see what I've missed. I was on a different screen, guys, so I couldn't see you guys. I apologize if I missed anybody's comments. I was over on Maps. So on StreamYards, if I'm sharing my screen, I'm over on another screen most of the time. No, you're welcome. I hope that might have gave people that are not from here maybe a better idea of what just how close everything is. So when Don left, if he called 911 from the Meadows in Johnson City, he would have been calling Washington County, Tennessee. Then they would have transferred him to Hawkins County 911. So that's accurate. If people were questioning that, that's what would have happened. So, and then there's you guys, I'm trying to remember everything I talked about this morning on that live. You remember me telling you that you could pretty much stand in one spot of the Beach Creek community and have one limb in a different county, each limb in a different county. Greene County, Washington County, Sullivan County, Hawkins County. And I actually showed that. This will, I don't know if anybody's ever showed this on their live stream before, but I'm going to. Hold on. Let me close this out. All right, so do you guys want to see? All right. Let me find Light Hollow. Okay, so Summer's house is here. Right around don't quote me as 100%, but this is approximately where the Sullivan County line is. This is how close it is. And this is here, let's go down here. And we can see it. We can actually go to street level. And I'll show you where. I'll see where Sullivan County line is for people that haven't been out here. Okay, there's the county line right there. Whoa. That's Sullivan County line right there. So you're not seeing that at all? How is that? And it's sharing it right now.
It's not them.
Hold on. How is that not? Hold, give me a second. I'll reshare it. I was seeing it. Did you see it?
Yeah, but not on.
Yeah, but not on the live.
No. It
Oh.
was there and then it just was gone.
So how can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so good. That right there is the, of course it's gonna, that's the Sullivan County line. And I'm telling you guys, if it would have been, I'm going to go from a aerial view of this. If so, Summer's house is right there. Like I said, it's right there. And I'm telling you, if she would have just lived on the Sullivan County side, I believe we'd been in a lot different situation right now, don't you? I mean, maybe not. I don't know. That's you got multiple jurisdictions here. I just know that Sullivan County has a pretty good reputation around here. I mean, they don't play, and they have more funding than
All that with Evelyn.
with Evelyn. They're the county that was over Evelyn Boswell.
They really stepped up
They did.
and they did everything they could to find that baby. So
They really did.
I mean, obviously that was a totally different situation, and they were able to garner an idea of where, what happened to her. So I guess that changes things quite a bit.
That's true. Lucas Cut, that's a good point. So Google Earth, why do we have satellites, but when a kid goes missing, we can't use them? They are hours or days behind. They have help some cases, but not all. That's true. Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, Sullivan County, they don't, I feel like they. So I talked to a Sullivan County deputy during the course of, all of this and it was over something unrelated because I was getting some information. But I asked about the roadblocks and everything because Sullivan County was in charge of the ones right there at the Sullivan County line. But, multiple counties came in to assist in the first initial search. So, he gave me some pretty, he couldn't really answer me, with big, long sentences, but he would tell me pretty much yes or no, or, mm-hmm. Well, I asked him, I had asked him if it would have been on his side, on their side, that, would they had the funding, would there be more searches that would have happened rather than just the one from June 15th till when did they stop? What was the exact date?
Was it 11 days? Or
was it 15 days?
I thought it was either 11 or 13.
11 or 13?
I think. Don't quote me on that.
Well, whatever it was, I was, I just asked, would there have been more searches by law enforcement, as they're, leading it, not EquiSearch, not that, than just one in June, one in November, end of November. And he said, yeah, he would almost 100% guarantee that there would have been multiple in between that time period. And I can't help to ask, why not with Hawkins County, especially with the TBI backing them? Because the fund that TBI has funding, the FBI has funding. The card team came in and, guys, I shared their information. What are their, if you guys remember, what are their specialty in finding missing children, abduction cases. That is what they specialize in. And I don't know. I don't have the answers, and I don't know why. But I just feel like we would be in a different place right now. And I can't help but to go back on everything that I read on Carly Trent's case. The public was encouraged to get out and look and search, and there's people that live around here that stay in these mountains hunting and fishing, and people that can go across this terrain like it's nothing and know every holler on the back of their hand. I just feel like we'd be in a different place right now. Did he say why Sullivan County couldn't keep helping? Like I said, it's been a fight for jurisdiction. They were brought in on the search in November. Well, some of them were brought in. Now I can't say too much because I'm not trying to start a bunch of problems. I'm just saying. So if Hawkins County is in charge of that, and I did make this very clear. Who's lead of Summers' investigation, right? Who's in charge of the whole investigation. It's not the TBI and it's not the FBI. It's Hawkins County. FBI, when they were called and asked, and it was on a recorded line when this person called and asked why Summers' picture was not on their missing persons database, and she said, "No, I can't answer that." And they said, we're assisting when we're needed, which the feds aren't going to give you any information anyway. And I ended up going over the card team stuff, but if you follow a missing 411, if they don't find evidence of a crime, like not just a disappearance, but of a crime within a certain amount of time, the feds usually, back away because, there's nothing they feel like they can do. So the grandest search for Summer. I don't know. I can't answer. I wasn't there in the beginning when Summer first went missing. And a lot of people weren't. I heard that thing, they were more involved early on. But we didn't go on the property till, when was it, Allison?
We went on that property in
July?
August.
August. I can't ever remember if it was, end of August, early July. So I don't know. I can't answer that for sure. I know that, there was more things happening. Now I know Don was still going to people's houses and door to door and going out looking as of, when was that? November, December?
Yeah.
Till all that crap happened, when all the drama happened in December. I know that he had went, it wasn't as much as that you would think, and people are, I'm not going to say that they did 100% as much as they could have, because that would be a blatant lie. Because, there was things, and I don't know if that's because they give up hope or I don't know. I can't answer for what other people do, but I can say what I would do in that situation. I would be out every day, 24 hours a day. If searching, these search and rescue groups said that the parents couldn't be involved, I would be doing my own search somewhere. I mean, it's just the fact of the matter. Let me see here. Alone in Tennessee is high-low recovery. It's probably a Copper County official. Cracking case. Helen Feckler. Do you know if on June 15th the Summer hasn't been found, will the reward go to the county? So this is what I've learned through it. Now, back, it was supposed to go be dispersed into the Missing Children Fund, right? Missing and Exploited Children Fund or something. What was it? I can't remember what they were going to put some of the money into. But I know on June 15th that the reward will be dispersed to wherever it goes. And that would have happened 6 months ago if people wouldn't have, kind of talked and said it needed to be extended. But guys, rewards they don't ever really have a very high effectiveness and what is the word I'm looking for, man? I've had a bad day with my words. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, same here. Look, I don't either. I don't think they thought it was going to blow up like this either. Guys, if y'all get a chance, please, if you ain't got nothing to do, watch something on Carly Trent. Watch how different. This little girl was missing 7 days. And look just how much more resources were brought forward for her. And they knew who their culprit was, the uncle and everything. But they didn't know, he had the ability to drive and take her wherever. And it was by chance they were found, where she was found. Y'all need to look into that. Look at all the nonprofits. Look at the doctor out of Hawkins County that did her kit, what he got in trouble for later on after that. How many people were encouraged. Look at the names of these nonprofits that were local to Hawkins County that are not involved in Summer's case. Why is that? Why was there such a big hurt for funding for this search for Summer, and there wasn't in that investigation, or in that missing case for Carly? And thank God she was found. Why such a difference? Summer's younger. Look at the resemblance between the two girls. It's wild. Did he have a camper or a van? So he was out on somebody else's property. He had drove a van, and it was one of those big vans that the property he was on, they said they had to been 4-wheel drive. Now I think there was cabins out there, or shacks. She was found in a shack, or just wandering out, dragging her blanket out in the middle of this field when Donnie Lawson found her. Now, I've never been able to confirm, and I've checked, and I've tried to find out if Donnie Lawson and Ronnie Lawson are related. And then there's a Gary Lawson that works for Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. Now, I do believe he's related to Ronnie Lawson, but I cannot find to either confirm or deny if Donnie Lawson, the owner of the property where Carly Trent was found, if he's related to Sheriff Lawson. It's just a strange case to play in the old refrigerator. I wonder what the chance she crawled into something, even in an abandoned vehicle. Well, I know that all those that junkyard of all them old cars, I know they were searched thoroughly. She also played in the bed, an old bed of a truck that was on the hill behind Grandma's camper. And when Don told me that, I was like, wow, that's looked pretty dangerous. It's steep back there. No, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And we're not involved in any drama over here. And I'm talking about from early on. In Carly Trent's case, those nonprofits had came forward and funded a lot of the, reward and resources for her search. They did not do that in Summer's case. Now, there were people that did come forward and help with the reward fund. But early on, a lot of the same things weren't done. You know, if you followed this case and heard Sheriff Lawson from the get-go, the very first press conference he did is he said, "We do not need help from the public. We don't need your help." And I always thought that was strange. I mean, the more people, the better, but maybe, I guess not. He is Robbie's cousin, and I cannot find the other either. Did anyone else find it strange Grandis wants to say Lawson was lying after having lawyers? Okay. Regardless of, I still feel like they did not know that they had attorneys, because those are attorneys for the boys. I don't know how that would have been, how that counts as, just think about it, please. How would that be representation over a missing case when there's no charges that have been filed? And how would they not be cooperating when those lawyers would be over the case with the boys? He said that kind of bleeds over. I still don't know how there's an explanation to that. So I don't know if they necessarily knew that they had attorneys, because it sounded like the way that it was put is they had hired, he said, they have now hired attorneys. That's what Sheriff Lawson said. He said they're not right now. They're not cooperative right now. He said they've hired attorneys. That's not the same, because in that the boys' lawyers were not hired. They're court appointed over over their case, over them being taken out of the home, and in the DCS case. That's different. I still don't understand that. Now, if Tennessee does something different, I don't know. But I still don't understand that fully. Exactly. Please tell me. If somebody please explain that to me, because I still don't get that. And even after I spoke to, it was a little bit after that till we quit speaking to Candace. And when I asked her about that, I said, "You did not hire attorneys." And we spoke to Grandma in great detail, and she said, she was like, "No, we have not hired attorneys." And so I don't know. And when we were out there in December, and all the times, I'm trying to think I don't recall ever the parents, when we were out doing those searches and stuff, them ever telling us that law enforcement had come out and spoke to them or anything like that was said. So I don't know. I can only tell you what I saw and witnessed. And when we were up there, in December, when the trespassing charges, or when law enforcement was called over trespassing from the different creators, when all that crap happened at the bottom of the driveway, that's what Grandma was talking about the last time she talked to law enforcement, and that didn't even have anything to do with Summer's investigation. That was a completely opposite thing, and Summer was never even talked about when law enforcement came out there. So I don't know. How would the boy's attorney cover in Summer's missing case, though? How could they not be cooperative in a search for Summer, but when there's no charges filed for Summer being missing, or for any criminal charges put on the family yet? I don't see how the boy's attorney would cover that. You see what I'm saying? Because you would have to have a representation to keep you from talking on. You see what I'm saying? There, effective counsel. I get what you're saying, Trigger, but effective counsel would not ever allow the Wells to be on YouTube and speak out like they have been, because then they can't effectively represent them. That's why I'm like, how can they say they had attorneys this whole time? Because that would have been the world's worst attorney. he would never sit back and say, "Oh, it's okay. Yeah, y'all just talk on YouTube and fight and get drunk and do this and go drive and go out on." They would never. He would say, I can't represent you in a court of law. Therefore, you know, it's been so many different things. If they are a witness, perhaps. But if they were a witness, wouldn't there be charges filed already? The same as if while they were taken out of the home, wouldn't there be charges filed on the parents already? I don't know. Because he did, regardless of what was said, Sheriff Lawson did say they have attorneys now, or what did he say? They hired attorneys, or they have what did he say? Because I said lawyered up, and somebody got on to me. He didn't say lawyered up. He said they have attorneys, or they hired attorneys now. And that's a lot different than what Pruitt said when he said it kind of bleeds over. I don't know. Hopefully there's an explanation for it. And like I'm just saying, I'm just asking questions. I don't know for a fact any of it. I just know everything. Every time I've been in the court system, if you have a separate case, especially for criminal charges over something, especially like the disappearance of a child or something, it's not going to be handled by, juvenile and domestic relations courts, lawyers that are over a boy's custody case. You see what I'm saying? That's the way I'm thinking about it. But and I could be 100% wrong. And I can admit that. I best believe I can admit that. That's just my 2 cents on it. Be something to look up and see what I can find out about it. I'll look up in Tennessee and see how that works tonight. So I guess I'm gonna finish up with this, and I'm gonna tell you guys this. So I was talking about a certain no, I don't even know if I want to bring that up. Oh man. Okay, so yeah, this is what I'm going to end with. We're not going to get anywhere. This isn't true crime. It's drama. If people are fighting, if they're threatening each other, if it's a constant, fighting against this person, that person over stupid stuff that has, no relevance here or there. Now, what I will do, if I have a discrepancy with somebody who's putting out things that aren't true and waving around papers saying that they have proof of the things that were in the house and while the boys were taken and this and that, and it's actually just protocols printed on paper. It's DCS protocol papers, and I actually did see that happen. And I'm not going to say how I saw that, but I was on a channel and it was witnessing this happen. Now, if there's something like that, I still encourage any of those people that have put out those things as factual to come up here and let's have a debate and let's talk about the case and let's I want to know where that all this information is that I haven't seen or been able to find since following this case, because there is so much misleading information out there that is being put forward as fact and saying that this is the reason they were taken and this is the reason this was done and this is the reason that was done. Well, people say, well, there's this, I saw this paperwork and this DCS file and all that. Well, I've never seen it. And every time I ask for them to produce it, I never get it. So, and I'll use an example of what that was. I was brought up the footprints in another creator's chat the other day, and it was told to me that Leslie Earhart had denied that in a Twitter post to another creator, and I said, no, that's not happened. And she said, oh, I'm sure of it. It was on Facebook or something. I said, well, I'd like to see that. Best believe if those footprints were denied, that would have hit YouTube like a whirlwind, and that certain creator would have been talking about it. That's not happened. And I actually found a post where Leslie Earhart was asked on Twitter about certain details of this investigation. She said, I can neither confirm nor deny the specifics of the investigation. So I know that that's not true. Unless they come out and say, like they did, that this, Sheriff Lawson was one that did do that and said that the scream was unfounded and that there was, in which I still question. I'm not saying anything against Joey Sue, because I don't see how her and her two kids, how law enforcement could tell them they didn't hear what they heard. Now, whether it had been Summer or an animal, because the son said it was an animalistic scream that he heard. Now, regardless of what it was, it could have been something over here that echoed off of this holler and bounced back and sounded like it came from over there. You can't tell people that it's unfounded and they didn't hear what they heard. Unfounded means that what they're speaking of has no foundation or basis in fact, and that's not. How can you tell three people that didn't happen? I mean, that's a little far-fetched. And they also, law enforcement, I better not say law enforcement. Sheriff Lawson said that there was not drug activity on Ben Hill, not any more than there is anywhere else. Well, there's a lot down there, and I can assure you, I saw it firsthand. And it, and if Fred Hill and those people, they're known dealers, and there's a lot more that live on Beach Creek and some of the other roads down there. So there is traffic down there. It's not like you would see in the city, but there is traffic going in and out. Okay, I guess that's it. I think I've covered everything. I wanted to hopefully have more people up on the panel tonight, but nobody wanted to come up. Why is my arm bleeding like that? I scratched my arm and it won't stop bleeding. Just, wow. Okay, no. Okay, DC Warrior. Unfounded means, the definition of unfounded is no foundation or no basis in fact. So inconclusive would be more like we can't say it did or it didn't, because there's not enough proof to say it didn't. So they're saying that there's no basis in fact for it. Here, I'll show you right quick. I'll show you right now the definition. Here, let me share it right here. Okay. Having no foundation or basis in fact, her persistent fear that she had cancer was unfounded. Similar, groundless, baseless, unsubstantiated, unproven, unsupported. So that, is lacking a sound basis, groundless, unwarranted. How to use unfounded system. Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to show. I mean, I don't want to ever say nothing that I can't back up on that. So the scream could have been an animal. Oh, I'm just saying what her son said. He said it sounded animalistic, and it could have been anything, but you can't tell somebody they didn't hear what they heard, especially three different people. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, look, and besides the one time, I want to agree with Gemini crime theories on this because and we spoke about this in great detail at the very beginning. That's why I never let Don come up on my panel. He might have called in on the phone, but I made it very short and sweet. And besides Candace coming up on there unannounced that one time, which we saw how that went, that was the reason why I never wanted them, on my panel, because I did not want to be the reason, that was that hurt anything. Now that night when she asked to come up, I mean, I was like, I was putting in a hard place. I'm like, we've been talking about your daughter here, and you're asking to come up on my panel. What am I supposed to say? He double hockey sticks no to you. I mean, I didn't know because I try not to be rude to anybody. Although I'm not even gonna say that because that's not right. I shouldn't say because of the way we were treated that I should treat, because that's not the way we should be. We should be the same way all the time. But it just when she came up there that night and the things that happened that night, I was like, oh my gosh, it's just a mess. Y'all saw my face. I was in total shock and didn't know what to do. I was so uncomfortable. I was like, please just get off this. I'm going to close this panel down. Come on and said that she was not in love with Dawn anymore. I was like, why'd you have to pick my channel to do this? Oh, Lordy. Screams were heard. They're not unfounded by more than one person. Maybe not SW, but JSB said not. That is not. Listen, JNS, I'm not saying. I didn't say they were unfounded. I'm saying what Sheriff Lawson said. And I said that I don't see how they can say that they were. I'm agreeing and saying that, even when the son said they were animalistic sounding. So, I'm not. I hope I read you right. I wasn't being rude. I'm just trying to answer. Yeah, we're. That's 100% what I'm saying. I don't see how they can say unfounded. She said the tree cutters didn't hear. Well, I think at 7 around when law enforcement showed up, there were still two of the tree cutters there. One of the tree cutters which left early that day. I have the two tree or the tree cutting companies' names, and I've tried so hard to be able to talk to some of those guys, but I don't know. They've been so protective as to not. None of them want to talk, which is strange. And I don't blame them. You see what's happened through this. People have just been. It's been crazy. Yes, there is. There's power in prayer. Absolutely. Yes, I was searching for words. Yeah, they're not off my list either. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of people that ain't off my list out there. There's a lot of strangeness. High strangeness. No, I know you weren't, Janice, and that's why I said I wasn't being rude. I was just agreeing with you. I was agreeing with you. I hope that sounded. Yeah, I haven't either. Hey, Lori, how are you doing? Good to see you. The cadaver dogs searched the tree trimmers' vehicles and equipment. Look, can't ever get an answer of that either. I don't know. They might have pulled out. I know they were working out there after she went missing. I don't know. I'm sure, but I don't know because there was two of the workers there. But what if all their equipment was gone, and they had done pulled out that day? What if they did do something? They would have had time to do scrub down equipment or whatever. That's a good question. It's a very good question. Yeah, we have good. I mean, we have good discussions over here, guys. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I'll tell you what. I'm to the point now. I don't care. You'll hear it first right now. I am so sick of being labeled, in a camp with this person or in a camp with that person, or this, and I'm done with it. Look, I'm in a camp with my wife here. We do what we do on our channel. We've chose to be kind. We've chose to try to get along with everybody. It gets twisted. We reached out to, and now these same creators are saying, "Oh, stop the hate, stop the hate." When we reached out and they attacked us relentlessly. I mean, what goes around comes around. And, you got to treat people with respect. I tried to go on each and every one of these channels and tried to be nice and kind to a lot of people. And, it was always, always walked away with a knife in my back. That has to stop. These games have to stop. We are adults. Grow up, go over, be able to sit on a panel and talk like grown people. Let's stop the conspiracies, stop the pointing fingers at one another. We're locals that tried to help in this case. Nothing more, nothing less. We tried to be, have integrity through this, but we get accused of this and that. We're not going to answer it to it no more. We're going to cover these cases. We're going to do our thing. And, I'll be in a camp. I'll be in a camp with Chasing. I'll be in a camp with Gray Hughes, two creators which I have worked with. But all this fighting and calling people names ain't going to happen no more. You're not going to see it here anymore. You're not going to see, besides maybe if we call out somebody that's spreading just false information, 100%. That's about it. We might make fun of some of the crazy trolls and do impersonations like that. But, if people want to get mad over that, then oh well. I guess that's it. And in closing, I'm gonna, oh, God, I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm so proud of the people that follow us, guys. I beg for nobody's views or support. We try to be open-minded. We try to think openly. There were so many creators that were on the wells that they were reporting on that every day. We chose to look at everything else. That doesn't mean that we weren't looking into them and paying attention, but we're locals. We're here. We were able to be out there from the get-go. I heard somebody say, I don't know, I can't remember who it was, said these people must have known how to read the case and know it was going to get big before it got big. No, I live here. It was big news when Summer went missing because that doesn't happen around here. And Don had been on YouTube channels, on Voices Behind the Wall, where I'd actually, started just being a guest on before I ever had a channel. People have made this thing and put labels on people that shouldn't belong. You can't do a good thing to help anything. And look, we're not causing chaos and we're not causing problems. We might, we're going to have a prayer vigil that night. I might not show up at the one in front of law enforcement and the sheriff department's sheriff's office parking lot, because I'm not going to antagonize them, and I'm not, it's a good thing. Yes, it is. But at the same time, she can say whatever she wants to. She told him, Detective Pruitt on the phone, that she just wants them locked up for something, and that's not, that's not how the justice system works. There has to be an investigation, there has to be evidence, and there has to be charges filed that way. Now, I'm hoping law enforcement is doing everything in a fair manner to where, and I'm pretty sure that if Don and Candace, if they had proof and guilt of them, they would charge them immediately. I don't see them holding back on charging them. I just don't. Do you? I mean, be honest. Do you guys see law enforcement holding back? If they can get a conviction, best believe they're going to get it. And this is my way of thinking. Now, I said it the other day. If y'all really think that these people are masterminds and can complete the, really pull this off, now maybe the stars aligned and maybe just everything went perfect and they pull. I'm not saying they didn't. And I'm not saying that they're 100% innocent, because I believe there's knowledge there, and I believe there's things that haven't been discussed by a certain one of the parents, or maybe, a certain two people out of the three adults that were on that property. But I don't know. It just became too much. What if she did walk away? What if we've all put too much thought into it? Me, us included. Maybe what if she did walk away into the wilderness and to the terrain and got lost? Well, what if that is the answer? I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I know that, I'm not going to sit and think about it. The more that I can get out and actually do things and actually put an effort forward and maybe find her by being out there and putting boots on the ground. And I could care less if I get that label and I talk about it on here ever again. If we could find her and bring her home either safely or bring answers or just do something. I'm not saying necessarily me, just somebody out there. I could care less. The reward would be finding that little girl. And you've heard me say it before. If it was by chance that we were to, she could have that, if we were to have found Summer, I give you my word, and my wife will give her word, that money, that reward money, would go to Summer and her brothers for their future, 100%, every freaking dime of it. I don't want nothing of it. I just want to know that I lived like God wanted me to, and I put my efforts that I have in me to do the right thing and maybe do better than I did in my past and do something that would make a difference in this life. That's all I got to say for tonight, guys. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And we will, I guess, do another one. I'm trying to think when the next time I'll be able to go live. We got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, so probably not tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow night. Just look for it. I will try to schedule it ahead of time. Was an odds of evidence they would have been arrested a long time ago. Thank you, Joey. Look, I'm thank you, guys. Hey, look, I spend most of my time on here not talking about drama. I'm just saying it has to stop, and you don't see me getting involved, ma'am, with fighting between creators. I'm over here doing my thing and helping with cases. And if you caught the beginning of this, we've rattled some cages and got some answers. Hopefully got an investigation going for Timothy Hone Acre. That's what we talked about through most of this. It wasn't about that. I just want to see the true crime community, something that we're all a part of, change and be something better, something that makes a difference. Because right now it's not, for sure. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, let us not always point fingers at each other. Let us not always feel like we have to criticize and be the one who says we should do it that way or this way, God. I ask that we could all get along, that we can all just do the right thing and find answers for these missing cases. God, I ask that law enforcement will put every effort towards finding these missing children. Put a hedge of protection around Summer. Put a hedge of protection around Michael Vaughn. Lord, we ask that answers are put forward in finding what happened to Richard Hone Acre. He's an adult, but he has stepchildren that love him dearly and his family members that love him dearly. Yes, he had a past. Yes, he didn't always make the right decisions, but it's been years that he had tried to change and be a different person. God, let that shine above all things. Let us not be defined by who we were, but who we are in you now. Lord, I just ask that we all have an open mind, that we can look at things as if maybe we were wearing that shoe. Maybe if the shoe was on the other foot, God, how we would treat ourselves in that situation. Let us know that we are not very far. We're not promised the breath in our lungs that we wake up with every day. That's a gift from you. God, I ask that you bless everyone in here and let them know that they're not ever take it for granted, the life you give us every day. We know that you are the main physician in our lives, God. We know that you say what is and what is not, and what goes and what doesn't, Lord. God, I just ask that you really open up our hearts and let us learn to love one another again, Lord. Let the hate be washed back to hell where it belongs and bound there. Let us all just be better tomorrow than we were today, God. We ask for healing for people that are sick, people that don't even know that, Lord, people that don't even know they need you, God. We ask that you meet them and touch their heart. Let's speak to them. Let the Holy Spirit fall in our lives, each and every one of us, God. You're amazing. Again, you're the Alpha Omega. You're the first and last. You're the beginning and end. And God, thank you for loving us when we don't deserve it. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Woo! Okay. Hold on a second. I'm going to do something. I'm going to tell y'all bye because y'all deserve it. Whoa, wrong way. Wrong camera. Look at this hairdo. All right. Guys, I guess that's it for me tonight. We'll catch you again on the next one. Remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice, but justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate. Tell somebody you love them. Show a little bit of caring and compassion to somebody. Maybe we can make the world a better place. I don't know. A little bit of kindness goes a long way. We'll catch you on the next one. God bless. See ya. Actually, I'm going to play this because y'all probably didn't get to see it if y'all just came in late. I want to show you something that I made. Y'all might like this. Here it is. Oh, it started out all fast again. Here we go.